Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Brush, a video podcast dedicated to everything World Star Nail Artist Competition, brought to you by Scratch Magazine. Whether you're a competitor, a master nail artist, or a nail enthusiast, our podcast will take you on a journey through the world of nail art and all things WSNA. I'm your host, Winnie at Winnie is Awesome, and we are here today to talk about our second challenge of the competition, Beauty Changes Lives. Joining me today is a full roster of VIPs. Please welcome Beth Livesay and Meghan. Hayden, everybody.
Hello.
How are you guys?
So wonderful. So happy to be here. Thank you for that.
Oh,
I just said good, and Megan's like, so wonderful. You're so full of energy. Bless
I
you.
know.
Bless you.
I have a toddler.
Bless you.
Keeps coming out.
I want to be so wonderful all the time.
I know.
Now, we usually like to get our guests to introduce themselves because, you know, what better way to do it than out of your own mouth? Let's start with you, Beth.
Hi, everyone. I'm Beth Livesay, the Senior Manager of Education Content for Team C&D.
Hi, I'm Meghan Hayden, the Director of Communications and all things social for Beauty Changes Lives.
Beauty Changes Lives. As you know, we are here to talk about the second challenge of our competition, WSNA. And this week is all about Beauty Changes Lives. So maybe, Meghan, let's start off by you telling us exactly what Beauty Changes Lives is.
Of course. So Beauty Changes Lives is a nonprofit organization dedicated to making beauty and wellness careers a first choice career path. You know, there's so many misconceptions about the industry out there and people that just don't know how many amazing opportunities are available. So we are here to provide scholarships, mentorships, advanced education, and advocacy for the organization, for the industry as a whole.
Whoa. Did you practice that?
I do that a lot. Before, I think one time. He said it like one time before. Yeah.
Maybe one time.
Yeah.
Holy moly. No,
Not
Beauty
100%
Changes Lives. It's all I've known since the beginning of my career. So we cannot stress enough how important this organization is to the beauty industry, and we're so glad to have you today.
Thank you for letting us share our mission with more and more beauty professionals.
Of course. Now, speaking of the challenge, Beth, challenge maker, can you tell us a little bit? Actually, do you want to explain the challenge and then what your inspiration was behind the whole thing?
Yes. So, you know, Jan Arnold, who's C&D's co-founder, my boss, my partner in crime for WSNA. She's a board member on Beauty Changes Lives. I know, Meghan, you know her very well. And Jan got to go to the BCL event in Chicago where they do, you know, it's a nice gala. They do a lot of fundraising. They do a lot of, you know, talking about the program. You get to see people who've received scholarships. And so Jan was telling me that they read this beautiful poem at the event this year. And it's a long poem, but it's a beautiful poem. It was written by our friend, the chat CPG robot. So it's kind of Robob. This is kind of remarkable. Actually, I my first question was, oh, who wrote this poem? And John's like, oh no, it's a chat, you know, it's the chat thing, the chat bot. And I was like, wow. So first of all, it's really impressive that that's where the poem came from. But second of all, we loved having this poem as our inspiration for this challenge. So it's about letting in the light. And so we said for this challenge, we needed to have a light fixture within the nails. Contestants were allowed to use 10 nail tips. They could use them in however way they wanted to arrange them. So we actually do see for this challenge, you know, not just the standard two hands. We see people playing with the tips, making murals, making figures, doing interesting construction work. I always love seeing how people display tips. And they were allowed to use a shiny top coat only. So no matte, because we're talking about shining the light on BCL. So it was kind of a fun challenge inspired by a poem and, of course, our partnership with Beauty Changes Lives. And for the videos of this challenge, we asked each contestant to tell us how beauty changed their life, because we love hearing those stories.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I have to say, this challenge got me so emotional. I was going through all their videos, and I have never been this emotional going through videos. These guys' stories are just so beautiful. That was such a nice touch to the challenge component. So well done, Beth.
And we're so fortunate. Jan is actually one of our co-founders. So 10 years ago, Jan Arnold, Robert Passage, and Linnell Lynch actually founded Beauty Changes Lives. So she's been with us since the beginning, and she has made sure that nails and nail professionals are always represented, and we love her for that.
Yeah, Jan preaches the BCL gospel everywhere she goes. So yes, I love that we were able to carry, her love for BCL into this competition, because I feel like it touches everything C&D does. So it's just nice to have it be relevant again.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I know we're not going to go over the whole entire poem, but let's just take a look here because I feel like it needs to be shared. This poem is so long.
Yeah.
It was very impactful, though. It was performed live by a local Chicago artist. And it was so impactful. The audience was in tears. What brought this poem about was really shining a light on the industry and the individuals within it, because we are such a diverse industry. We're such an amazingly creative group, and we want to show people that this is a valid and valuable career choice, that you are special, you are wanted, and that no matter what you look like, there's entries that are about tattoos, there's entries about making your own personal choices. That is really what we want to do, and we are shining the light on the people of this industry.
So if people wanted to, is this broadcasted somewhere, Megan?
So this is available, I believe, on the WSNA website. We can make it available on the Beauty Changes Lives website as well. We have the video of it coming. We're just getting a little cleaned up right now.
Nice.
That'll be beautiful to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be sure to share all your social media platform handles and all that stuff so people could give that a look when they're ready for it. I mean, I think the poem, it kind of goes for everything in life.
Yeah.
Like, not just the beauty industry, right? Like, it's so relatable. So this challenge, I have to say, everybody brought up their A game and kitchen sink. I everything. They just basically took everything they have and they dumped it all out on the table. And it's only going to get harder from now, right? Because from this group of 9 talented artists, how many people are we saying goodbye to? Well, not goodbye, but moving on to the wildcard deck. I think another 2 or 3.
Yeah. It's going to be really hard to determine who that should be. I don't know. Yeah.
I keep forgetting because I'm always anticipating just losing one person.
No, it's way more heartbreaking than that, Winnie.
I know. and so I've decided we're not letting anybody go this week.
Winnie has spoken.
Beth's like, no.
We have to move it along, Winnie. We have to keep it
going. There you go, Megan. Megan's in charge now. There you go.
Well, then no one goes home on our challenge. That's not what we want.
Right? Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So I guess you're looking at 3 of the 5 judges this week. What you guys, what's the main thing and biggest thing that you would be looking for in this week's entries?
So personally, we are looking for how the artist is showing their story, how beauty has changed their life, how is it coming across, and we want to know. The most important and most impactful thing that I get to do every day with Beauty Changes Lives is hear these stories and share these stories. That you get to be creative and passionate and fulfilled. You get to feed your creativity and feed your family. So that's what I want to see. I want to see your story.
Yeah, so Jan warned me a little bit going into this challenge. She said BCL is all about the story. They're about storytelling. And, for me, that makes me really happy because I'm a writer. That's, I love telling nail professional stories as well. So I'm going to echo what Meghan said, and I agree with her that this challenge has to be a little bit more about, personal storytelling background. We ask all of them how beauty changed their life. And I think it's a chance for us to get to know them a little bit more. So as always, this will be a challenge that's about artwork, of course, but we want to see a good story. And I think Jan even brought up, she said, there's some nails I've seen in competitions I'll never forget. And what makes them unforgettable is the story behind them, right?
Yeah.
So I have to agree with Meghan 1,000% here. Yes, storytelling is always important, but I think for this challenge, it's extra meaningful, right?
Yeah. I remember when we first started the competition and we were saying like, oh, not only do you have to be a good nail artist, you also have to be a videographer. You have to be a good storyteller. Remember?
Absolutely.
We were saying that because everybody comes with a story.
Yeah.
And without a story, you're boring. And nobody ever step into the beauty industry without a story. Have you noticed that?
I think some people think they don't have a story, but I think you'll find that you do. Everyone kind of. I think
has a story.
The more you the more you talk about it, the more you dive into it or create something, the more we see that everyone has a story.
Yeah. So big bravo to all 9 of our contestants this week. You've all done such a killer job. Okay, so that's great. Let's talk about some of the standout pieces this week. First of all, let's talk about our friend Danielle here.
You know what? Danielle is coming out of her shell. I was watching this video going like, yeah, Danielle gets a little, maybe she's sleep deprived after this.
I mean, aren't we all? Like,
yeah, she's opening up more. Look at these faces.
Well, I mean, I think like the way she conveys her message is really creative and really fun because she's like, in order for it to be proportionate, it has to be 4 heads. So then she put 4 of her heads.
Yeah, and I like how in the video when she's saying how does beauty change her life, she actually had like words, like she had like little point by point by point, and then said like, well, I wake up every day and I'm excited to go to work. So I think Danielle did a really good job answering that question and then just showing us a lot of technique.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with this one, honestly, because we're such an eclectic and beautiful group that I love that she's showing herself and she's also putting that into her work, which is just straight up sculpture. And I'm obsessed with it, and showing that you can be unique and that's encouraged is amazing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And she did unique tip placement. I feel like the entries this week, I saw a unique tip arrangement that I had never seen before. And this is one of them. I agree. The corset was a really cool way to do that. And in her video, thank goodness, she shows us where all 10 tips are.
Yeah.
I do like that because then we don't have to like.
I was trying to slow it down and like count how many were in the corset, and like I was reading all the verbiage on the corset, and I'm like, I love it. Don't hide your tattoos. No, you be you.
No. Exactly. You show them. And we didn't know Danielle was a shy one until the first week of the competition. And people were like, she's actually really shy in person. It was like, really? We couldn't tell.
No, and I don't think she's shy anymore. I think
we broke her.
Happy to share. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
It's okay. We like this weird Danielle. So well done. I honestly thought the arms were fake at first until I saw her actually sculpting it. I was like, oh, okay, nice. This week we had a few painters in our entries. We had Gemma with her portraits. We had, I believe, Camila did a bunch of portraits as well. And who else did portraits? Maria did a script.
Maria did a painting.
Yeah. Maria's always been a good master painter. But Monica did
Monica is talking.
Yeah, portraits this week. She talked about her piece stood out to me because of the part where she's like, I myself nor this video or the organization condone smoking. And then she goes to use the vape pen to create like smoke.
Oh boy. Oh wow. Yeah.
I was like, good on you for
the PSA warning. But
yeah.
I'm also going to use this for an effect.
There you go. Unless it's for art. Yeah, with Gemma, I was really happy to see her using a lot of painting because I feel like Gemma, when we looked at her Instagram, like after she made it in the contest, we realized she's a really good hand painter. And I feel like I didn't get that the first couple challenges from her. She made the bubbles. And so I like that she kind of saved this. Like this was in her arsenal. She brought it out now to play to her strengths. Like I like that she just didn't show us hand painting all the time from day one. Yeah. So I was kind of glad she went this way. Yeah. And Camilla too. I feel like Camilla, because she did like a very abstract, like last challenge was really abstract, right? Like we were kind of like, oh, she just did she went non-literal, but this time she showed us really great painting, and I was like, oh, good for it. So I think for those two, I was just really happy that they played to that, and we saw that again with this challenge with all the tips. You could have you could have said, I'm going to rely on the shape of the tips to build something, and that's going to be my entry. And so I think it was a little risky for these women to do the hand painting, except they did it so well. Like if you're really good at it, it's the time to break it out. So I was really happy to see that they really went for the hand painting because it's gorgeous.
Yeah. And it's honestly the perfect time to pull that out too, because it's your personal story, what inspired you. And if this is this is your art that you bring into your beauty industry, then that's amazing. Perfect timing, perfect tie-in.
Great point. Yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Camilla did a good mixture between hand painting and 3D, and I thought this apple was brilliant. So it's the core of an apple, but then in the core is actually a body, like a human body. And it's who would have think of that? I mean, look at it.
Artist.
It's beautifully shaded, beautifully executed, and it's just amazing to have like a glimpse into her world. Like, look at it.
Yeah, it's Camilla's world is really cool. I have to say. Like it's pretty fun over there.
I agree. Now, speaking of fun, our girl Nixie Rose.
Oh my gosh.
Let's start her video from the beginning because she is nuts. Yeah. Although this week she started off with saying like she didn't feel like she did her best last week. And so this week she's going to prove a point. And I'm glad that you recognize that. But Nixie, we don't need to hear it. Like seriously. That's it.
Show us.
You killed it.
Yeah, there you go, Meghan. Just show us. There you go.
Yeah. So she did a lot of like background stories of why she created this, but she created, I'll skip to the end here, a whole set of nail table.
Okay, so I have to say, when I saw this, I thought, so you said Nixie's crazy. I'll use that word. I know her personally. I can say she's crazy. But like, this is, I think, maybe one of the biggest risks I've ever seen. How she they're solid white color. Tips. And when I saw that, I said, no, she didn't. I said, no, she did. But she did. And now I'm like torn. I haven't judged any of these yet, but I'm like, but this was the way to go. Because yes, they're plain, but the light shows nicely on them. And then there's she gave us so much other stuff.
Yeah.
And she gave us this most relatable scene, right? We've all seen a nail table. We've all seen like a crazy cool nail table. We've seen inspiration boards. We've seen messy nail tables. I mean, I feel like that's all we've looked at for 10 years, right? When he's like, messy nail tables. So I feel like it's relatable, but I mean, this is such a huge, huge risk, but right now I'm loving it. Like I'm loving it, but I was taken aback. Nixie, you are brave. I commend you. I really, I gotta say, I respect your choice here. But I mean, huge choice.
Can
Yeah.
I offer a slight outsider perspective?
Do it.
Yes.
From having this being the first time I'm able to help judge this competition,
Yeah.
I think this is brilliant.
Yes.
Because it's not even about the tips anymore. It's about the blank canvas that we all walk into every single day. When you walk into your career, it's a blank canvas and you can make anything out of it. You can do anything you want in this career. And this is exactly what it's all about. She showed it 100%. You can make it whatever you want it to be.
You said it, man.
Do you think Jan will appreciate the messy on purpose table? Or do you think I'm like dying to know. I'm dying to know it. But at least it's white. You know, like at least they're white. At least you didn't do like spatters of paint. I don't know. I'm just dying.
I would, because that's what my table would look like. I would literally have one place on my table, like this much room, that's clean, and the rest is just Hurricane Winnie, like all over the town. Yep. But I have to commend Nixie for not taking shortcuts. She hand painted everything. Like, did you guys see the cover of Scratch magazine?
Perfect.
Can we talk about this? Like, she painted it from scratch. She painted Scratch from scratch.
And it's not the easiest cover. Like, she chose the more difficult cover with, you know.
I want that.
All that shading. That's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. Look at it. I was like, you are nuts. You are nuts. And then she revealed in her video that she was like a silversmith. Like, that was her trade. Or something.
Yeah.
Or something. Don't quote me on it. But like, she had something to do with jewelry. So this
she
is
does
like
jewelry. Yeah, she's to design, and she's a jewelry maker. So she's a little bit of a jack of all trades.
This is right up her alley. So Nixie, this piece is amazing, and I love how she incorporated all the lights as well, like in all different places.
Oh, beautiful!
So good, so good. I know we touched a little bit about Monica earlier, but can we talk about her hand painting?
Shoot, this girl can do everything, can she not?
Yeah, I
want to know her story. I can't wait to review this one and see what every piece of this means.
Yeah, her story is great. I had the wonderful chance of chatting with her yesterday, and it's just so great to hear her story, how she came about into the beauty industry. And the way she put it for this piece is that there are 3 things in fantasy nail art, right? There's background, midground, and foreground. Yep. So the background is the black that you're seeing. What do you call it? The frame. It's like the outside world of the beauty industry. The midground is inside the bubble. So the bubble is the colorful stuff that's here, right? And then there's people getting their hair done. And then she like emphasized that beauty is not just all about appearance and all that stuff. It's all about knowledge and I love the way her mind works, and I love the way she explains herself, and it's just beautiful. Can we talk about Katie Potter?
Yes. So Katie is the other one. When I was just glancing through, hers really stood out to me. So again, I've seen a lot of nail competitions. I have never seen someone use nail tips as a stained glass window. Like, I've seen a stained glass window on a single tip, but I've never seen them arranged as like a stained glass window effect.
Yeah.
Tips. So I was really blown away by this. I was like, that's a really good idea. And this castle is just cool looking, especially since, you know, we have a lot of English contestants. Scratch is a British nail magazine. I was like, oh, this is so representative of like that history, and it just looks so beautiful together. So Katie, congratulations. Like, I loved the effect. And again, interesting to me how people took 10 tips and put them together, and she just did it in a really unique way.
Yeah she went big in scale. So that's the
It's perfect.
One
It's your
of
logo, Megan. It's like
I
perfect.
know, I need it. Whatever this is, I need it.
Perfect.
If it's a
Katie.
ring, if it's something I can wear as jewelry, just
Yeah.
when this is over, please.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Whoa.
It's
oh,
a
we're
castle.
a castle! Yes! Oh, I need it. I'm gonna put it right here next on my desk.
Yes.
Yes.
Great.
Katie, if you're hearing this, we need your castle.
Oh,
Look at it.
Great. It's great.
You know what this reminds me of? Sort of like Beauty and the Beast vibes.
That's what I was getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, and she's so cute.
Great on camera.
It's
She's
just
great.
so cute.
She's always been, I feel like since the beginning, she's been really great on camera. Yeah.
Agreed. I think the quality this week for everybody has just been like up 5 notches from last week.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
They're inspired.
Oh man. If you guys have ever have the opportunity to check out these guys' social media and their videos, they are becoming more and more mediagenic by the day, by the minute, by the hour. I don't even know. They're so great. I want to give a shout out to Sarah Fontaine.
Yep.
Her video, her introduction this week, very, very professional. And I was like, wow.
She's good. She's also been good on camera, I feel like.
Yeah.
Since the beginning. She's just got a great presence.
She's been listening. Yeah. She's been listening.
Yeah.
So and she did her intro and outro perfectly. And I hope you like my and that's how you do outros.
Yeah, that was perfect, Winnie.
No, but I have to give her a shout out. Her video this week was great. Actually everybody's video was great. I couldn't, no nitpicking. Just so great.
No.
So we're not letting anybody go, right? After all this?
We'll see what happens.
Oh man. So just from what we saw just now and the time you've got to spend with these entries so far, are there okay. Who
I'm
caught
Team
your
Castle.
eyes the most?
I'm Team Castle
Okay.
all the way.
He was like, who caught your eyes the most?
Team
Okay,
Castle.
so Team Castle. No, Beth?
Wait, sorry, what's the question?
The question is, who caught your eyes the most? Who wins this challenge for you this week?
That's so hard. Oh gosh, Nixie and Katie really were the ones I texted you about this morning, Winnie, and I just said wow. But to be fair, I haven't dug deep yet, but just first impressions, those two were really great. But I'm thrilled we have so many good hand painting because I feel like between Jenna, Camilla, Monica, we have 3 really good hand painters, and that's going to be a serious competition between the 3 of them as well. But I think those 2 in particular stood out. But we had amazing entries this week. It's going to be hard, really hard.
I agree. Do you want to talk a little bit about how beauty changed your life?
Oh my gosh, I don't think there's enough time to talk about it. I came to the beauty industry through publishing. I worked at Nails Magazine. Before that, I worked in the jewelry industry. I worked at Jewelry Magazine, all sorts of DIY and crafts, so more like fashion and accessories. I came to the nail industry not knowing anything about it as a consumer or as a professional, nothing. I always say, I think I only had my nails done once, and it was clear. I just wanted clear nails, which now was horrifying.
How dare you?
It's disgusting to me now, but once upon a time I was like, let's get clear top coat on my nails. So my life changed forever when I got the job in the professional nail industry. Beauty is such a great opportunity. I wish I had known when I was in school, when I was when I was working. I used to work in a high school. When I was working in education, that beauty was a viable career, that it's a wonderful opportunity. And everyone I know now, all my good friends I have, because almost all of them, because of the beauty industry. Winnie and I have known each other for 10 years. My best friends from Nails Magazine, we still talk all the time. I've known them for now 11 years. So, it's been a career for me in a different way, but I have so much respect and reverence for everyone, whether you do hair. I have so many friends who do hair, whether you do hair, whether you do nails, whether you're an esthetician. Beauty can be life-changing, and there's so many ways. Like, even if like you're me or Megan, and maybe that you're not working in the salon every day, but you're working adjacent to it, it just shines a whole new light. And so I like to think too that not only has it given me a livelihood, but like everyone who knows me who's not from that world, they now really respect beauty professionals. I love that I can hook my mom, my sister up with a good nail professional.
Yes.
My husband knows everything. I know Vic knows everything. My husband knows everything about nails. He loves going to his barber. He just, like, everyone around us appreciates now the hard work of the beauty professional. Like, no one who knows me doesn't have an appreciation for that. So, I mean, beauty's paid for everything. We used to say at Nails Magazine, nail polish buys our homes.
Yeah.
One bottle at a time.
Yeah, exactly. So beauty's changed my life, and it's been my career for 11 years, and I don't know how I could ever leave. I tried to leave the industry, and you guys
pulled you right back.
You didn't let me. So thank you.
I love how you and I, Megan, are just
we're both like, nope.
Come back.
Yeah, no, that's what you two did. You two were like, nope, come back. And I did. I came right back. So thank you.
Oh, I love that. That's such a beautiful story, Beth. I don't hear you talk about that very often.
Oh, we could talk about it in depth, but I don't want to bore people.
So that's a whole other podcast. We'll have to start a new show.
Yeah.
Okay, Megan, Director of Communications. You and I have known each other before you were that. You haven't always been involved with BCLs, but you've always been in the beauty industry, right?
I have.
It's a long time coming.
I was born into the industry. I am actually a legacy. My mother has been a licensed cosmetologist for 39, 40 years now. So she taught me well from the beginning that this is a amazing career that you can make work for you. She was a salon owner when I was a baby. I was the little kid that sat on the little old ladies' laps, and while they were getting their wet sets, they would read me books. So I kind of came up in the industry, and then I actually got licensed myself right out of high school. So I've always known that it was an amazing option in life to be a part of this career. And while I did go through cosmetology school and I got my license, I am not talented in that way. And you do not want me to cut your hair. Please, for the love of God, find anyone else to cut your hair. But I love the industry. I love the people. And so I found a different way to go through the industry. And that was through supporting artists and creating spaces for education and creating opportunities for you to shine and for you to share your work. So I actually worked with a major distributor for a while, which is where I met Winnie, covering the artists at Fashion Week and covering, creating a team of artists that we got to showcase them, because as a distributor, we're nothing without artists. We need you to be happy and healthy in your career for us to exist, and that's what our purpose was. And that was a great place for me for a while. I got to support people like you and be a part of your experience, and I loved going to shows and covering all that amazing energy. But there came a time where I really wanted to focus on giving back directly. It's one thing to supply you with the products that you need. It's another thing to supply you with the resources that you need for your career. And that is how I transitioned to working with Beauty Changes Lives. It also, it gives me the opportunity to work with people from just considering a career in beauty. Like, if you're just thinking you're an enthusiast, you really like it, like you'd like doing your own nails at home, or you do your friend's hair. Like, I want to talk to you, and I want to tell you the opportunities there are in this industry, that you can support yourself, you can support your family. It's not a fallback career. It is a career. And working with Beauty Changes Lives has also afforded me the time and the re-inspiration, my husband and I actually own a small salon in our town. So we own a 10-chair hair salon where I get to work with individuals every single day to advance their career. So this has just been the most perfect spot for me to be able to support people on a broad scale, to be able to support people directly in my community, and none of that would be possible if I weren't a part of this industry. It's just life-changing for me in finding and creating my own way through this industry.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that gave me goosebumps, man.
Yeah, I love that. I did not know you owned a salon either. You're like in every facet.
I'm everywhere.
She does everything.
Every way you can be involved. I love it. Yeah.
And I think that allows me a very unique perspective on
Yes.
what the individuals need, what they
Of
want
course.
versus what like the distributors want. And I'm like, wait, you're saying one thing, but they need this. Let's meet in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, distributors, they have their own agenda, right? And the type of support a beauty professional needs is so much more than just products, like you said. For me, this has like, it transformed into a whole career. And all the artists that I have met and spoken with, their end goal, they don't really have end goals, but their biggest goal their biggest goal is to be able to give back into the industry and help others. And I just love seeing things coming full circle for everybody. You know, you start out as a student, as a tiny little artist in your tiny little town, and then next thing you know, you own a salon, you're in a competition, now the world knows all about you, you are teaching classes, you're traveling to places. So it's just amazing to see. And a lot of our friends have their own companies now. They have their own product lines. It's just I'm so happy.
You can grow and grow and grow, and there's no limit. There's really no way it can.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I love sharing my story because it demonstrates that you don't have to be skilled with your hands in every aspect of the industry to be a part of the industry and to have an impact.
Absolutely. So well said. There's so many things somebody can do in the beauty industry. And it's such a welcoming industry that no matter what you're good at, there's something for someone.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
So where do you guys see the nail industry growing in the next 5 years? I think it's evolved so much. I was laughing to myself when we were talking about ChatGPT because I was like, let's just say 3 years ago, this would never have it would never fly.
No,
people would be like, what are you doing? You're using a chat.
How does it know? It doesn't know our career. It doesn't know. But you give it the tools and it pulled it together. You know, we gave it prompts for that poem and we told it, you know, we want to illustrate the opportunities and make sure everyone knows it's inclusive and that you have so many paths to take. And with a little bit of tweaking, like that poem is pretty amazing and extremely impactful.
I don't know, Megan, if you know, but our first ever challenge for WSNA was generated by the chatbot.
Oh my gosh. I did not know that, but I appreciate it so much.
When is Robop going to be on the podcast, Winnie?
I know, right? We should have Robop.
Yeah.
We're going to need to have him on one of these days. Oh, I love hearing your stories, you guys. Thank you for going over the entries with me today. And most importantly, spreading awareness about the foundation Beauty Changes Lives, the competition, and how we just want to help the industry advance as a whole. It's not about, who's the cooler person in the competition. It's not about that. We just want to see artists grow. We want to see nail professionals become nail masters, and you know, it's just it's a love fest.
Yeah, and challenge themselves because if you're not challenging yourself, you're not growing, and if you're not growing, you're not advancing the career. So I absolutely love challenges and competitions, and I'm just so happy we get to be a part of it.
Yay!
Yeah. I think too it's interesting because BCL, I don't know how well people in the UK were familiar with it because it's been like a North America thing. So it's cool that for this challenge we have a lot of English
Brand new.
and they now get to see what we're doing, and we can bridge that. And also, like, the thing about beauty professionals that I've noticed is they love giving back, right? Like everyone has that philanthropic or like that need to give back in some way. So I just think that this challenge perfectly captures that.
Absolutely. Now, Megan, if we want to learn more about the Foundation BCL and where we can find you and your cohorts and everything, how can we stalk you, Megan?
First step is on Instagram at Beauty Changes Lives. If you DM Beauty Changes Lives, you get me. It's me instantly right here. So if you have any questions about our programs or our resources, definitely that's your first stop. Otherwise, beautychangeslives.org has all of our programs mapped out. All of our scholarships and resources are available there, including our mentorship program, which is going to be kicking off again in July. So we have so many resources available, and we want to share your stories. So please come talk to me and get involved. Everyone can be an advocate for Beauty Changes Lives.
Woo! Beauty changed my life.
It changed my life because it introduced me to Winnie and Beth.
Oh, so sweet. Yes. No. It just keeps giving and giving. Yes.
First beauty changed my life, and now beauty is my life.
That's for sure.
All day.
You see what I did there? I'll be here all day. Tomorrow and the day after, maybe. Well, thank you, ladies, for being on our show today and diving into this week's challenge with us. Your input really helps these contestants advance into their career, throughout the competition, and maybe one of them will be, not maybe, for sure, one of them will be the winner.
Yeah, it's not going to be anyone outside the WSNA group. Yeah.
Do you like how I'm like, maybe one of them?
Maybe.
Just
no,
maybe.
No. We're going to pick a winner eventually. Yeah.
Oh, man. And like we mentioned, to find out more about the Beauty Changes Lives Foundation, visit www.beautychangeslives.org. A great cause that helps advance our industry as a whole. And also be sure to follow the contestants' journey on social media at Scratch Magazine, C&D World, and remember to help send your favorite nail artist from one of this group to the finale by casting your votes. The challenges each week, you can find them at www.scratchmagazine.co.uk/WSNA. I always have to have a big breath there. It's so long. And of course, be sure to follow us at BeyondTheBrush_podcast on Instagram and leave us a review. Share your thoughts and spread the word. Until then, everybody, keep on pushing and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Good job, everybody.